There's so many firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends, teammates, and peers who, although we have only known each other for 4 years, it seems impossible to think about being surrounded by anyone else in the coming weeks. We celebrated each other's accomplishments, became each other's biggest cheerleaders, and never let each other struggle alone. College has been called the most formative years of our lives, but I can say for certain that these last 4 years have included both the most amazing and most difficult moments of my life. One constant, however, is the support of my friends through it all. It is impossible to thank everyone who makes up our AC family. Together, you have each played an integral role in helping us achieve this momentous milestone.
You be proud to be a graduate of Adrian College. It's a good day to be a Bulldog. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
Today's students on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
first round of the NCHA playoffs is underway in men's NCAA Division III ice hockey from Arrington Ice Arena. The Bulldogs hosting a team that they took care of business against in back-to-back games earlier on in the season, and the Falcons of Concordia, Wisconsin. We're glad to have you with us here on this Friday early afternoon start. Calvin Keys alongside my goaltender Alex Herman. Happy to have you with us here. We welcome you up inside the Braceway Grandstand. Should be another fun contest today. Bulldogs are rolling right now. A couple of big wins last weekend. They took down the number 10 team in the country, Trine, on the road and at home. What led to their success last weekend, and what from that performance can they carry over into today?
Well, I think it speaks volumes. There were some questions and possible doubt in the beginning of the season on whether this team could repeat some of their results that they had last year. And at this point in their season, they're really hitting their stride. They've found their systems. They've found the players that they need to distribute to. They've had excellent goaltending. Everything from their offense to their defense has been superb up to this point, and that's why you saw a sweep against Trine.
All right, let's take a look at our starting lineups for today's game. First, we will take a look here at the starting lineup for the Concordia Falcons. Who stands out to you here as we look at the 5 guys who will be iced to begin the game?
Well, Alex Ochitawa leads the Falcons with points, 11 goals, 10 assists for 21 points on the season. So look to see him with the puck a decent amount here tonight, and as well in nets. Though his record doesn't quite show it, Gabe Rosek has battled through the season and stood out for the Falcons. 23 games played, a .411 GAA, .896 save percentage, 8-15 on the season.
All right, looking over now at the starting lineup for the Adrian College Bulldogs. We'll have a glance here at who will be starting for them today. Up front, it's the top line for Adrian College. Matthew Redding alongside Brad Summers and Zach Heinz. And then on the back end, Jaden Shields and Julian Jacob. I'd venture to say that's maybe the best starting 5 in the country, Alex.
It could certainly be one of them, and Matt Redding and Jaden Shields both leading the team in points. Redding has 14 goals, 22 assists for 36 points, and Shields 7 goals, 25 assists for 32 points. So when they're on a line together, you can expect some magic because they've done it all season.
I'm not a math major, but that seems like a winning equation.
Absolutely.
The man we see skating to the blue line for the Bulldogs, Dershawn Stewart, has been rock solid in between the pipes for him all year. What's some of the things that you'd like to see from him today to continue his success? Yeah,
he's been out of this world stellar through his 22 games played. I mean, his numbers speak for itself. 1.84 GAA, a .935 save percentage, and a 15-5-1 record. It really doesn't get any better than that. He's so calm and collected in the crease. He makes the stops that he needs to. He makes the big ones when they're in desperation mode. He's the guy in the back.
Certainly a tough test for the Concordia, Wisconsin Falcons to come into Arrington Ice Arena tonight and challenge this Adrian Bulldogs team that's ranked number 3 in the country. We'll be back for puck drop in a couple of minutes' time on the other side of the national anthem. You're watching Bulldog Hockey right here on ACTV.
There's so many firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends, teammates, and peers who, although we have only known each other for 4 years, it seems impossible to think about being surrounded by anyone else in the coming weeks. We celebrated each other's accomplishments, became each other's biggest cheerleaders, and never let each other struggle alone. College has been called the most formative years of our lives. but I can say for certain that these last 4 years have included both the most amazing and most difficult moments of my life. One constant, however, is the support of my friends through it all. It is impossible to thank everyone who makes up our AC family. Together, you have each played an integral role in helping us achieve this momentous milestone.
And you be proud to be a graduate of Adrian College. It's a good day to be a Bulldog. Thank you and congratulations.
Welcome back inside Arrington Ice Arena as we begin the NCHA Harris Cup playoffs here. Adrian Bulldogs taking on the Concordia, Wisconsin Falcons. Calvin Keys alongside Alex Herman here today. Herm, what are you excited for in this matchup?
Well, there's a little bit of an unspoken rivalry between these two teams. You see every once in a while that they get a little bit jostled up with one another. The Bulldogs in their first two meetings this season won both of those contests 8-0 and 6-2. So it should be interesting to see what comes of this game today. But I know that the Bulldogs are certainly hungry. So are the Falcons. Nothing beats playoff hockey, so this should be a good one from the AIA.
These are the games you look forward to all season, all the hard work in the summertime and all of the regular season games, grinding it out to get to this sort of stage. Falcons trying to put together an upset. Bulldogs looking to take care of business here on this early Friday afternoon puck drop. Bulldogs clad in white, moving right to left on your screen. Falcons moving left to right in the blue. Puck drop, Summers claws it back, and the game gets going here from Arrington Ice Arena. Happy to have you with us here on your Friday afternoon. And Redding slipping it through for Summers, had it knocked away. Shields recovers. This is Heinz on the far side, looking into the middle for Shields. Bumps it low, back for Matt Redding. Redding a pirouette, spins away from Kepke, centered out front. A good chance, and a nice save made early here by Gabe Rosick. Rosick, a goaltender we got to see earlier on in the season, and he played pretty well, keeping Concordia competitive in their games here at the Arrington Ice Arena earlier on in the campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. We alluded to it a little bit during the pre-show. He's a strong netminder, and his numbers really don't speak towards his skill. He's very, very technical. Every once in a while, too, he's able to come up with some big stops. So we'll see what he can draw up here today.
Heinz turning, firing. That's off the outside of the net to the right side. Summers trying to find the puck. Instead, it's taken away by Reutman. Reutman, strong work to clear this one out. Pass is sent just behind his teammate. That's Mequan Tallman. They'll move it in. Now down for Shields. Able to spin away from the forecheck of Grant Newcomer. Jaden Shields, one of the real leaders of this team, is a senior from Royal Oak, Michigan. Saucer pass through for Redding that could not be handled. Behind the goal, circling with it is Logan Kroyman. Back up for MacArthur. He'll find a speeding Preston Hazelton. Hazelton trying to cut in on the right wing, and he's shut down by Kudo.
That was a good step from Hazelton. Kind of caught Kudo on his heels there, almost squeaked by.
Rosick going on an adventure way out of the net. Swade will find it. He's leveled as he doesn't like the hit, and Riley Murphy sliding into the net. Players going everywhere in the Falcon zone.
Riley Murphy just bowled a strike through the net right there. I don't know if he took a tumble as he was making his way towards the net front or if he got hit from behind, but he crashed into the netting hard. Seems to be okay, though.
Put an X up on the scoreboard. That's worth 10 pins.
Yes.
Will that be a multiplier if the Bulldogs are able to score here coming up? We'll see.
Question is, what's the bowling animation going to be on the scoreboard?
There you go. Wii Sports veterans up here in the booth, you can tell. On the far side of the Falcon zone, Concordia will win the face-off. This is sent off the wall, cleared out by MacArthur, who pays the price, taking a hard hit. Swade looking for it. Puck will ramp up in the air. Here's Ian Amsball. Amsball turning back with it. Klein, a silky toe drag to work out of his own end. Often I think we don't appreciate some of those escapes that defensemen are able to pull off because it's a little bit more of a high-stakes play than when you're in on the attack, Alex.
Absolutely, and you've seen more offensive defensemen start to grow into the game in the past couple of years. Names like Cale McCarr, Adam Fox, they're really shifty on the back end, and when you can generate some offense and create space, it's better.
Connor May onto the backhand, tries a shot, and Rosick had the angle. Not sure if the shot get there. Eating it along the end boards here is Matt Koepke. Koepke pinned by Babiak. Smooth move by Gerstein to draw it out. Breakouts cut off by Lovasek. Finally lifted out by Koepke. May will reset for Shields here with 17:34 to go in the first period. Bolin. Speaking of Bolin, there's the Falcons' Nick Bolin, who took it into the Adrian zone momentarily. Gerstein, look out. Koepke stepped up. Thankfully, Gerstein's a big guy, and he had the boards right next to him.
Yeah, that one shook him up a little bit. He went back to the bench a little bit gingerly, but that's a big hit from Matt Koepke with the awareness to step up and lay the body down. Totally clean play, but got to keep your head up and know where all the pieces are on the ice.
Just a good shoulder-to-shoulder body check, and as you try to get engaged in a game for Gerstein as well as the Falcon player who laid the hit, they're both awake now and they're ready to go. In the near corner, Troon dropping it off for Loretto, now gets it back. Theo Troon, the Western Michigan transfer, his shot kicked out by Rosick. Below the goal line, Reutman will find it to the far boards. Sardelli can't clear. Good keep in by Patosha. Back around the boards, only 2 shots in this game so far belong to the Bulldogs. On the near wall, Koepke lifts it out. Loretto will retrieve. Adenier, Calgin. Light pass to lay it off for Patosha. Gets the zone entry, trying to center for Loretto, who hopped up, and Rosick covers. Concordia not creating a lot of chances so far, but I really like their defensive structure, closing down the open gaps in the neutral zone and defensive zone, Alex.
Absolutely. Both shots really didn't come off clean, and I don't even know if you can fully count them as shots taken, though they were on net. You see the Bulldogs are trying to work those outside lanes and have been unable to do so far.
Newcomer unable to clear it out as Klein will keep it in. The Manitoban into the far corner of the Concordia zone. Got a chance to talk to Austin Klein earlier this week. I've never been to Manitoba myself, but I've heard that it's a land full of cornfields and lots of cold weather, and he affirmed those suspicions on my behalf. Redding moved it forward. Summers trying to go rink wide. Hines can't receive the pass. Kudo, a drive, and Rosick receives it in the catching hand. And with 16:03 left in the first, we'll get another stoppage.
Yeah, that puck looked like it flipped up on the stick of Kudo as he was laying down the slap shot, so I don't think he got all of it. Made a pretty easy save for Rosick, but will take the face-off along the right side.
Summers. Shields will open up. Shot one. Don't think anyone saw it. Must have gone through traffic momentarily and whizzes wide. Yeah. Shields pass cut off by MacArthur.
Judging by the reaction from Rosick, I don't think he had eyes on it.
It was a weird, almost froze the goaltender there with moving screens in front. Luckily, it went wide for the Falcons. Summers behind the goal line. Jacob lifting it forwards, working hard to try and clear. He loses an edge. We've got a delayed penalty coming up against Concordia. Deshaun Stewart to the bench. Centered for Redding. Can't find it. Chance for Shields. A Shields snipe. He goes 5-hole. 1-0 Bulldogs.
That's exactly what you're looking for. Just about 4.5 into this game is to open up the scoring and jump on the board first. This is just a hard-nosed play. Starting from the own end, they have the extra attacker moved over to the slot. Shields will drive right there. Slips it 5-hole, just barely dribbles in, but it's going to count nonetheless. Bulldogs lead this one 1-0, 15:26 left to go in the first.
Kind of the dream situation as a defenseman where you hop up in the play, which Jaden Shields loves to do, and then the puck is just sitting there for you all alone, walks in, but credit him for taking advantage there. Adrian up 1-0, and now they'll start a power play. Does it get much better than that here on your home ice to start a game in the opening 5 minutes?
Absolutely, and that's going to be Shields' 8th goal this season and his 33rd points as a defenseman.
Pretty unreal stats there. Patosha kicked along. Murphy below the goal line. Battling hard for the puck. 3-player scrum. No one able to pry it loose. Came free for a moment. Murphy had it. Now it's back on the wall once more. May swept around the kick plate for Jacob. Sent across for Patosha here. 40 seconds into the power play, Amsbaugh will turn ahead. What a backhand feed, and what a save by Rosick to deny Patosha.
Those are the stops that we talked about earlier in the beginning of the game that Rosick is able to come up with sometimes. That's an excellent stop with the blocker.
Certainly was. Patosha had a lot of net to shoot at, and then a quick push across the blue paint from Rosick. He closes it down. It's cleared out by the Falcons. 50 seconds left in the Adrian power play.
Like the rhythm that the power play had going on for their cycle in zone 2. They were able to snap the puck around pretty well. All their passes really going tape to tape.
Battling in the far corner. Dug free by Summers. Up top, Heinz. Across. Great stick play made by Sawyer Wersing. Deflects it up out of play. Also should be noted, Garrick MacArthur, the man in the box. I believe it's for tripping. 31 seconds left on the penalty to him.
Checking the live stats. Looks like it's going to be hooking for that one. Penalty nonetheless.
Heinz turning. He's pinned to the boards. Good physical play by Pizzamenti. Falcons penalty kill looking strong here as they clear it down again. Maybe one last rush for Adrian College here as Shields will drop it off. Redding crosses over his own blue line. Feeds Heinz a little sidestep, shimmy shake. Back over across. Shields opens up looking to the back door, and a great defensive play from Osmus. Goes down on one knee, Tim Tebow style, to cut off the lane. Falcons trying to clear. They've killed off the penalty. And it comes off Shields, probably off of a Falcon stick and into the fishing net with 13:18 left to go in the first period. Pretty good penalty kill for Concordia. What were some of the factors that allowed them to keep the Bulldogs off the board?
Well, I think they stepped in the lane when the Bulldogs were going to shoot, and that last shot block right in the slot was perfectly timed just because the Bulldogs had 3 guys down low in between the hash marks, and if they were able to connect on those passes, you have to think that there's a pretty good chance they're going to score that one.
Definitely. We saw it on a couple occasions. Love the play from Osmus. Going down on one knee. Sometimes we see defensemen slide all the way down with the little LB plus RB action, NHL 24 style, but that kind of takes you out of the play. So he was able to go down to one knee and cut off the lane and then be alert, able to get back up on his skates and continue to play defense. Babiak, crunched by Sardelli. He'll battle back for it. Along the boards, receiving a shove here is Ochitwa. Trying to work it free. Skate to stick for Gerstein. Up ahead for Lovasek. Tried to play it through by Kepke. He cut it off. On the near boards, Kudo. Elevated with the backhand. Couldn't get it past Bridges. Ochitwa joins the fray. Lovasek is there. Babiak had it knocked away by Ketterman. May will join Ketterman. Nice stick lift. Creative play there by May on the puck battle as Osmus will step into the shot. Blockered away by Stewart. That is the first shot of the game for the Falcons here with 12:15 to go in the first.
I'm actually not sure if that one reached the net. I think that got blocked by a body in front, and Stewart may have just went into his blocking position. It's not put up on the board yet, but it certainly looked like from a certain angle that he made it.
At first glance, it looked like a blocker save by Stewart, but with the puck moving so fast, it could have been that as well. Patosha knocked away. Controlling here is Bolin. Knocked back, sent off the plexiglass by Reutman. Newcomer trying to lay it into the center, but it comes to his opponent, John Calgin. Troon, an awkward collision with Newcomer knee on knee. Loretto to the far end of the rink. This is Calgin. Able to play the puck down low. 11.5 to go in the first. Looking to clear it out is Bolin. Nice forecheck by the Bulldogs to make his life difficult. Troon is joining the battle. Lots of board battles so far. Falcons a very scrappy team that are going to make the Bulldogs work for every inch here today. Nice play by Loretto to keep it in. Calgin from the left wing looking for Patosha in the middle. That's swept aside by Noah Reutman. The follow-up shot wide. Patosha spinning. Murphy looking to gain the puck as Patosha lost an edge back up to the point for a Denier. Loretto receives the feed. Calgin looking to knock it back down low. Loretto gets a forearm shiver from Reutman, but can find Patosha. Patosha laid off for Calgin. And Rosick slides across, seals off the bottom of the net, and covers up with 10:48 to go in the first.
That's such a crafty play by the Bulldogs in front of the net to drop that puck on top of the crease. And really defensively, though, for the Falcons, you cannot allow that to happen because that's a shot coming from in tight that likely will hit off a body if the goaltender is not perfectly positioned and generate a rebound. They're lucky that it was swallowed up.
Face-off win from Swade. Klein will cycle it over for Kudo. Off the left pad of Rosick. He'll keep the puck going. Falcons trying to get it clear. This is mishandled by Wersing. It'll slide along for Hazelton. Stolen away by Amsball. Amsball dish for Kudo, trying to slide through. Swade grabs it. Hazelton knocked back for Koepke. Maybe a chance here as MacArthur just offside. He entered over the blue line just ahead of that puck. Almost a good chance, but it's blown down, and we'll get a rare center ice faceoff.
That call was really, really close. I thought that he was going to squirt free on sides and potentially have a little bit of a short breakaway towards the front of the net. Officials seeing it from a different angle than we do, so.
Definitely a tight play there at the Adrian Blue. 10:20 to go in the first. Shots displayed as 8-0 in favor of Adrian. Bulldogs 0 for 1 on the power play so far. And the lone goal in this game from Jaden Shields at even strength from Matt Redding and Zach Heinz. Murphy will smack it out. This one won't have enough steam to get to the goal line as Swade chasing down Petronic. And their sticks come together and send the puck outside the rink with 10:03 left to go. For Concordia and their head coach Jim Masso, how are they feeling about their first period performance about halfway through?
Well, I think defensively they've been doing great, but proof is in the pudding. You take a look at the shot clock right now. It's 8-0 in favor of the Bulldogs, so they haven't really been able to find any opportunities thus far.
Taking it ahead is Jaron Ketterman. Summers steals it right back for Adrian. Summers looking to drop it back on the wall. Heinz, shoulder check. Sent forward by Shields, on for Jacob. Saucered for Summers. Summers left for Redding. Try to toe drag through. Heinz will salvage it. Jacob, some more barbecue at the point. Now from the right side of the blue line. Shot is deflected away, I believe, by Ketterman, who slid over. And with 9:31 to go in the first, another stoppage with the Bulldogs leading 1-0 here in game one of the opening weekend of the NCHA playoffs. The format for this tournament is you play a game today, we've got another one tomorrow afternoon, and then if the teams split at the conclusion of the second game, you play a 20-minute mini game to decide who moves on to the next round. Certainly a unique format that we were talking about pregame, Alex.
Absolutely. I don't know how many other conferences do that, if at all, but a little weird, so you're kind of hoping that you get the first one and you win the second one quickly just so that you can end the weekend.
Shields will find the puck as Jacob and Tallman had a heavy collision away from the play. Don't know if they didn't see each other, if it was an intentional contact, but they both went sliding into the boards at a high velocity. This is rimmed around out of the reach of Bergeron. He'll go back for it as he's pressured by the other 29, Gerstein. On it long for Humphreys. Shields. Pass took a skip over the stick of a Denier. Gerstein couldn't field it. Now taken again by Hazelton. Dropped off. That one deflects off Stewart. Koepke had a chance, and Shields shoving a man over. Taking the brunt of the hit was Grant Newcomer. Still the Falcons possess. Developing some ozone time. Wersing sent it well wide. Kept in at the point by Bergeron. A Denier crisp pass for May. They look for Gerstein. He'll lob this one out. Takes a skip over the stick of Koepke. Lovasek is there pressuring. Comes around the wall. Gerstein trying to seal it off. Centering pass that's stolen by Koepke. Up through the middle, it's Sardelli. Skate to stick. Nice play by MacArthur to keep control. He's bodied by a Denier and then given a shrug by Lovasek. Loretto with some ice to skate into here. Instead, he'll look along for Troon. Pass could not be found inside the skate of Troon. He'll battle on the wall. Delayed offsides will be whistled for the Bulldogs with 7:44 left in the opening stanza. Concordia with a nice little shift there. They got their first shot on goal of this first period, and we're moving the puck really well Granted, Adrian did a good job of keeping them to the perimeter.
Absolutely, and I think that's really just because as skilled as the Bulldogs are, they can play physical, and they're not afraid to do it. You saw a couple of really big hits along the wall and in tight on areas, so you should look to that for the rest of the game, but we'll see what's going to happen over the next couple of minutes.
Kept in by Ketterman. Shot was heading over the crossbar. Stewart will hang on. 7:31 to go in the first. Again, if you're just joining us, Jaden Shields from Reading and Heights got the scoring going. 1-0 the margin in this one at the moment. Falcons skating it through. Ketterman behind the goal. Pinned by Babiak. That's going to be a penalty. I imagine it will be for holding as the Bulldog defenseman wrapped up the Falcon Ketterman. Gave him a bear hug just 2 days after Valentine's Day, just showing some affection there on the far boards. And unfortunately, you can't do that during a hockey game. Babiak will go to the sin bin.
As obvious as that call was, that's just a tough break for Babiak. I don't think the intention really was to get wrapped up in the same way that he was. But easy for the officials to blow down, so the Falcons off to the power play for the first time here this afternoon. Skate in with a 19.6 PP percentage.
Face-off won by the Falcons here as they've got their first power play of the game. Newcomer into the middle. Couldn't find Humphreys. This is cleared down by the Bulldogs. Kroyman will regroup his team. Kroyman behind the net, up for Petronak. Into the middle, taken on by Humphreys. Drop for Ochitwa, steps into a wrister. Loose in front, and Stewart able to stop it. Klein on the near boards. Shot all the way down the length of the rink. 35 seconds in, Falcons with a premium chance.
Love the recovery on the scramble from Stewart to pick up the first shot and then to get eyes on the second so he can stay on top of it.
MacArthur dropped backwards for Reutman.
This might be a penalty.
Too many men against Concordia.
I believe so.
That is a killer. You're on the power play, a power play that's operating pretty effectively. An important offensive chance coming into this game as a little bit of an underdog. And it's going to be Garrett MacArthur to serve the penalty. Bench minor, too many men. We've got 4-on-4 hockey for the next buck 11. 6:32 to go in the first. Be interested to see who Adrian sends out there. They've got 4 forwards right now. Jacob's the only defenseman. Patosha, Murphy. Wow, that is an interesting face-off formation in the offensive zone with 3 guys lining up at the forward spots and then 1 right behind the center. But Falcons will win this face-off, and taking it up ice is Kepke. Jacob, shot sent wide. Murphy chasing after the puck. Humphreys in the far corner. Works it onwards. Murphy battling for it back. Has it on the backhand. This is sent off the boards. Springing Patosha. Has Amsball with him. Tallman trying to back check. It's dropped off for Murphy. Slid across. Nobody home as he was back checked upon and some of his room was closed down. Amsball shrugs off a body checker. Sends a shot in. And again, Rosick doing really well to cover up the bottom of the ice. Amsball backhand ushered through as Falcons are just bouncing off of him right now. Looking to work it off the boards. We've got 8 seconds of 4-on-4 left until the Bulldogs move to an abbreviated power play. This is saucered out for the Falcons towards Wersing. Matched up 1-on-1 with Shields. Wersing skates wide. Turning backwards. Centering pass. Pizzamenti. Pass was too hot to handle, but great vision there on the pass across from Wersing. Bulldogs the other way. Shields left behind for Swade as we approach the 5-minute mark. This one bounces behind the goal. 30 seconds left on a short Adrian power play. Shields opens up, passes rink wide for Reading. A shot that didn't get through. It's blocked. Nice work by Kroyman, and the Falcons clear. 15 seconds left in the Adrian power play. 4:45 to go in the period. Shields will forge his way up ice. Heinz bumped over for Redding. On the near board, still Redding, able to slither by Koepke. Trying to lift it out is Petronic. That deflects. Bulldogs keep it in. Swade, a shot, and that's off the mark. Back to 5-on-5 hockey now after 4-on-4 and then a short Adrian power play. Oh, Chitwa, what a saucer pass into the middle. Bridges. Shot is broken down by Stewart. He's applauded by his teammates after a crafty pass and a great chance in one-on-one for the Falcons. They head right back in. Oh, Chitwa handed off for Sardelli. That deflects off a stick. Nice work by Loretto on the poke check. It's out of play. Really good chance there for the Falcons, and it starts off with a great pass.
Yeah, they picked up the speed on the zone entry, which might have caught the Bulldogs by surprise a little bit. And they're starting to find spots where they can generate chances. I think really the name of the game for them might just be to throw the puck on net and see what they can pick up in front. But a couple of crafty plays with some nice stick handling moves.
Sent across for Reutman, a long shot. Seen and gloved by Stewart. 4 minutes even left on the clock before the first intermission. Referees for today's game are Dan Deneen and Paul Rigby. Linesmen are Mitchell Perry and Walter Lehman. As it'll be dropped by Lehman on the near dot in the Adrian zone. Adenier. High saucer for Troon. Off the boards, on the money for Calgin. Toe save from Rosick. Shots 10-5 in favor of Adrian. That was an impressive pass up ice by Troon to find the correct angle off the wall for his captain.
Yeah, absolutely, and the shot was right on the placement too.
Great chance out front. Patosha didn't have enough real estate to collect the puck. It bounces off Rosick in the air, and we've got a whistle for a hand pass, as you were saying.
Yeah, Calgin has a left-handed shot coming down the left wing. The best place that he can shoot is towards the outside to try and kick it off of the pad, and it played exactly the way that he wanted to. I just don't think he had the support that potentially he was anticipating in a trailer on the right wing. If he had it, maybe you see that one banged home.
May one back. Kudo tapped over for Klein. That goes off a Falcon skate. Ketterman can't work it out. Kudo into the middle, directed on by Gerstein, and Rosick in the right place at the right time to make another stop, his 10th of the game. How difficult is it to judge where the puck's going when it's sent off a skate or a slight redirect in front like that as a goaltender?
Yeah, at that point, you just have to hope that your entire body is on angle and you're just trying to lay on top of it so it hits you at the bare minimum.
Face-off win for Lovasek, loose in front. Casey Gerstein. He'll tuck it home. They score. 2-0 Dogs.
And, you know, we were just talking about how do you play pucks off of skates. And watch this right here. This kicks back on the draw. The first shot is blocked, and then Karam's off the foot in front. Nothing you can do about that as a netminder because you're looking through a sea of moving bodies. Put home in the back of the net. 3:17 left in this first period. Dogs up by a pair at 2-0.
Love to get a look at the replay there again because Gerstein and the defenseman guarding him were hustling to get to the net front. They bumped into each other. Were both falling. Gerstein able to finish even as he stepped on the slip and slide there in the net front. Great finish. And the goal will stand for Casey Gerstein, as I believe he has 3 or 4 now on the year. Gerstein, his 4th goal of the season officially. Sent through the neutral zone for Hazelton. Trying to work by Kudo. Heavy collision in front of the Adrian bench. May can't find it. Lovasek trying to knock it away. Kudo skating up ice, crosses over center, meandering wide. Stops up, defended by Bergeron. He's sandwiched. Koepke grabs it back. Concordia looks like they really came to play here today and are thoroughly competing in this hockey game.
Well, you look at the results this season versus last year. They're night and day better than they were when we saw them last season. And even though they don't have a winning record, they're still competing in games like you mentioned. And they've got a strong roster. It's just about aging them properly and finding what systems work.
Very young team for this Falcons squad. It's found in the neutral zone by Bridges. Still Bridges. Angled to the wall by Shields. Jacob going back for it. Spins quickly as he's hit. Moved on for Amsball. Clean breakout for the Bulldogs. Swade knocking along for Murphy. In behind Dittmer as Murphy's hit into the boards with 1:56 seconds left in the period.
Here's another look at that second goal that we saw earlier. Back to the top of the circle. Was it possible that Rosek stopped it there and it bounced out and then hit the skate?
I think that's a safe bet. It looks like that's what happened. But talk about crashing the net. Every coach preaches that. Gerstein heading to the dressing room right now. Not sure why. Headed to the room right after he scored and was going to say he did a great job of crashing the net on the play and just sniffing it out. Shields gives a shove to Sardelli, and it's gloved by Stewart as Jacob is shoved up in the face. What do you think sparked that altercation? Just a quick chop from Shields?
Yeah, sometimes you get together with the other side in front of the net after a whistle. You're in tight to the other team's goalie, trying to protect your guy, and to be honest with you, I was really impressed with that save from Stewart. That took a deflection, and he nabbed it out of midair with the glove.
Got to be good at pinball to be a goaltender. Klein skating it out of his own zone. Handled wide for Amsbaugh, dealt back for Klein, chopping at it, and he was caught awkwardly, went head first into the boards. Hope he's all right. It was definitely not the intention there on the hit, but he was kind of off balance as he was bumped into. Petronic, Bridges, oh shit, what a shot. I believe that went off the backside of Murphy. Going back to that hit on the other end of the rink, just kind of an awkward collision. Murphy through the neutral zone, lifted forwards. Babiak reaching after the puck. The defenseman is the first man in on the forecheck. Don't see that all too often. One thing that this Adrian team prides itself on is being a five-man unit. They all interchange with each other really well and play each other's positions when need be. This is centered for Loretto. Slid across. Zach Heinz. He scores.
How about this play? Grit and determination written all over this one. Starts with a quick dump in the zone. Summers along the left side. They open up, feeds it over. That's a shot that is very difficult to stop from the grad student in Zach Heinz.
Great play made there from Heinz. As he says, he puts a little ketchup on that dish coming over from Reading. Sent forward onto the near boards. Summers can't reach it. This is back out to the neutral zone. We're in the final minute. 3 first period goals from the Bulldogs as they've come from the likes of Shields, Gerstein, and now Heinz. Adenier looking to make it 4 and missed the goal. Good chance there for the defenseman from Columbus, Ohio.
That Heinz goal, his 13th of the season, now sits in second for goals on the team this season, right behind Matt Redding.
Redding adding to his point total as well with a nice little apple there. Unselfish play from the Bulldogs' leading scorer. Bolin crosses over the Adrian blue. Pizzamenti played on. Loretto lifted with the backhand. Patosha chased down Kroyman. This is stolen away. Tallman trying to center a drive from Humphreys. May have just deflected off of the toe of Stewart. And that'll do it for the first period. Adrian up 3-0. I don't know if that score is indicative of the somewhat even play we saw from both teams.
Yeah, you know, I think the Falcons did a really good job in the first opening 10 minutes of playing a very defensive game, shutting down opportunities when the Bulldogs were trying to drive lanes in high-scoring areas. But as good as they are, when you let Adrian College have some room, they will take advantage as they lead this one 3-0 after 20. And Stewart's been great so far. Only saw 6 shots, but a couple of those, some pretty decent saves. But a cool, calm, and collected team in the white, yellow, and black heading back to the locker room.
Connor May talking to the referees about something right now and hoping that Casey Gerstein's good to go to start this second period as he went to the locker room early after scoring the second goal of this game. But as things stand, number 3 Adrian up 3-0 against Concordia, Wisconsin, back for the second period after the intermission. You're watching Bulldog Hockey on ACTV.
lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends, teammates, and peers who, although we have only known each other for 4 years, it seems impossible to think about being surrounded by anyone else in the coming weeks. We celebrated each other's accomplishments, became each other's biggest cheerleaders, and never let each other struggle alone. College has been called the most formative years of our lives, but I can say for certain that these last 4 years have included both the most amazing and most difficult moments of my life. One constant, however, is the support of my friends through it all. It is impossible to thank everyone who makes up our AC family. Together, you have each played an integral role in helping us achieve this momentous milestone.
And you be proud to be a graduate of Adrian College. It's a good day to be a Bulldog. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
Today's students on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
We're back and getting set for the second period to start here at Arrington Ice Arena. 3-0 the score after 20 minutes of play. Bulldogs in the lead at the moment and accruing a 3-goal lead. They've got goals from 3 different guys. Was there a singular goal that stood out to you from that first period, Alex?
Well, I think the insurance goal is really that third one that we saw from Zach Heinz at 18:59. It was a really good play in front of the net, banged home. Not too much that you can do about that as a netminder, but that's just to show that the Bulldogs are here to play, they're ready to go, and they're going to do whatever they have to do to win. They're clicking on all cylinders right now, so big second period coming up.
Ben Loretto with an assist on the Heinz goal in the first period, and Jack Loretto with a snipe to get the puck by Bruiser at the intermission shootout. For those not familiar, Bruiser, the Bulldog, will defend his doghouse, and they'll have kids go out and shoot hockey balls his way, and Jack Loretto was able to score one and win a prize pack from WOW. Jacob sending it out front. Didn't take long. Zach Heinz, he scores.
17 seconds into the second period. We were talking about Zach Heinz just a couple of short seconds ago. Here he is again. Check out the chip off the boards. Jacob will rush in, feed it to the front. Heinz right there. No time for the Falcons to even get their footing. And it's a 4-0 game.
Heinz howitzer. How about that? Here's Heinz again. Let's make it 3. Slid through. Brad Summers. What a save by Rosick. Full stretch to keep the puck out. This top line buzzing for Adrian out of the locker room. Dropped off. Petronak sent up in the air. Players battle. 6 guys all coming together there behind the Adrian net. Summers will find it in the near corner of the Adrian zone. Redding bumping back for Austin Klein. Klein ahead for Heinz. Redding spinning off of pressure. Saucer for Kudo. Near side, he opens up. Finds Klein. Back for Kudo once more. Matt Kudo through the neutral zone, shoots it around the boards. Rosick used his skate there, not something you often see from a goaltender. Is that a move that you've employed ever?
Yeah, I don't know if he was expecting the puck to bounce the way that it did off the end wall, but that's a good usage of all your body parts there to stop it with the skate blade. Sometimes you go against the wall and put your whole body ajar to it, but to use it individually like that, it's a confident move.
Murphy turning and firing, shrugged off by Rosick. Bounces off his right shoulder, and Heinz with his second of the game. Grad student from Wyoming, Michigan gets on the board. Murphy slid over, an Ames bomb from Ian Amsbaugh.
That's the second time the Bulldogs have gone to that play, and it is slippery as ever. How about that celebration from Ian Amsball in front of the bench? But the passing, oh man, it's so good in this one. Open space, Amsball has nobody with him and has everything to work with. And Jim Masso is going to call a timeout here with 18:18 left to go in the second period. Likely the right call for his squad.
Definitely, they need to do something here to settle things down. Wheels falling off a little bit here as we've got 2 goals for Adrian in the opening minute and 42 seconds. We'll step aside for a brief commercial break as the Concordia Falcons call timeout.
There's so many firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you can
Back at Arrington Ice Arena, we've got a goaltending change for the Falcons. Liam McGarva in, replacing Gabe Rosick. Maybe more of just a general message being sent to the team rather than, an admonishment to Rosick because of poor play, because those goals weren't really his fault to start the second.
No, absolutely not. Every single one of those plays were earned, as here comes another 3-on-1.
Amsball looking for Loretto. Saucer pass was over his stick. Kind of just an instance where the team needs a change. As this is turned over by the Bulldogs, Ketterman skating along. He'll just send one on frame towards Stewart, who turns it aside. Bolin down low. What a pass, all alone in front. The chance for Pizzamenti, the save from Dershawn Stewart.
Good stop from Dershawn all the way in front. It's a good pickup.
Good sign as well to see Casey Gerstein back out there after he left the first period early. Maybe an equipment issue, maybe an injury. We don't know. Lovasek had it knocked away. Sardelli played along. Gerstein lays a hit. Lovasek will regroup for Jacob and maybe a chance for Connor May here. May below the goal line. Back out. Shields looking for number 2. Lovasek spinning back with the puck. Still Lovasek. Back for Connor May. May to the backhand. And that is sent up over the glass and out with 16:55 left to go in the second period.
Yeah, and you almost have to feel for Gabe Rosick. He's had a really strong season. He's been the workhorse for this Falcons team. And like we alluded to before, all the plays that the Bulldogs were able to score on were really thought through. And you could tell there was a lot of skill and calculation going into it. None of those really were the fault of Gabe Rosick. So Liam McGarva will see what he's able to do here. 349 GAA and his .889 save percentage this season.
Jacob was just plastered by Kepke as he moved the puck into the offensive zone. It's skated back the other direction by Ochitwa. Dropped off for Kepke, missed the net with the shot. Bridges will hold the blue. May bumps it up in the air, and it heads towards the Falcon bench. 16:21 to go in the second. A stoppage here as Adrian leads 5-0 over Concordia. 2 goals so far in this second period, courtesy of Heinz and Amsball. Heinz now with 2 goals in the game. Also has another assist on top of that. That's been pretty routine to see 2 or 3 point games for Heinz. He hit the century mark earlier on this season with 100 career points, and he did that via a hat trick. So he's been scoring at will. That top line is so lethal between Redding and Summers and Heinz. This is sent out front, a chance and a great save. Stewart sliding, but just able to grab that puck as it was slid the other direction. Sent across, Babyak reaching after it. He's thrown down, and in some discomfort now is, I believe, Breyer Dittmer holding that left hand of his. Troon circling. Dittmer's going to stay out there, but not able to grip his stick with his left hand. Troon back over for Klein. Babiak has some guys at the back door looking for them. Calgin angled it just wide of the mark. Patosha with the puck in tow. Snapped across off the skate of Troon. Tallman still trying to get it out. Dittmer with one hand on his stick, now finally able to play it and takes another heavy hit. Tough shift for him as Babiak bumped into him hard at the beginning of it, and then Calgin another heavy hit delivered towards Dittmer, who looks to be a little bit better now.
Yeah, out of breath on a shift. I think the last guy that I would want to get hit by is John Calgin. He's an absolute freight train. Big guy, can certainly throw his weight around.
Heinz left behind for Shields, a shot that's wide of the left post. Good work by Kudo to seal it off. Summers will regroup the Bulldogs back across for Shields. Looking to the middle for Redding here, sneaking it through and unable to cover the puck is McGarva, but we get a whistle. And maybe the referees thought the puck was covered. Is that what happened on that play?
I think for a second it looked like the glove side post of McGarva came dislodged, so they might have blown it down for that. Also could have just been they lost sight of it because it was bouncing around quite a bit. But we'll take the face-off on the right side. O-zone for Adrian.
Only two seniors on this Concordia team. Liam McGarva, the goaltender, is one of them. He's a product of Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. Jacob into the middle. Summers elevated on the near boards. It's sealed off. Shields is going back in his own zone. Passed ahead for Jacob. Stretch feed. Moved on for Summers into the middle. Redding, Heinz opens up, back across, and a good effort from Ketterman to tie up the twig of Redding. Worsing pestered by Heinz. Ever so feisty, works the puck back for his team. Summers will keep it onside. Jacob spears it on. Heinz down to one knee. Brad Summers. It's summertime. 6-0 Bulldogs.
Man, the goal from Summers certainly impressive, but Heinz was the catalyst for that entire sequence. He was all over the ice, keeping it in play and pushing it around, and they found a way to get it over to Summers. That's going to be his second point of the night, first of the day. Goal and an assist, 6-0. Man, this one really running away from the Falcons.
It may be February, but right now it's summertime. 6-0. Kudo off the boards. Murphy trying to pry it free. Bulldogs just continuing to lay on the pressure, not letting up. Murphy looking to work it forwards. He was met by Pizzamenti. The Falcons move it out. We've got 13:28 to go in the second period. Swade in the near corner of the Concordia zone. Turned it over. Ketterman with haste. Ketterman forwards off the shin guard of Kudo. Klein back with it. On for Murphy. Sent it off the near boards. A bank for Amsbaugh. Amsbaugh cutting back. He is nailed and down, holding his head in some discomfort. That was a big check from Ketterman, I believe. Amsbaugh reaching back after it. Can't quite get there.
And he's down in some pain. He's going to take a couple of seconds to regain his footing.
Looks to be all right, though. Maybe caught a hand a little bit up high. Tough to get an angle on the hit from our position up here. I'll tell you what, this second period has looked a lot different than the first. Adrian really seems to be having their way offensively. What do you think has changed?
They probably figured out what strategy is going to work best for them, and I think the passing was good in the first period, but it's somehow found a way to improve here in the second. Everything is tape to tape. Guys are open when they're setting up in the offensive zone.
Oh, Chitwa opening up, missed the net. Good chance there. May will skate it out. Gerstein back for May. Returns to Gerstein. Nice play from Reutman. Got the twig down to cut it off. Now Gerstein again. Lovisek is double teamed. This is sent out, and a chance for Zach Bridges. Bridges on the breakaway. The backhander skitters wide. Stewart may have gotten a piece. We'll speed the other direction now. Bulldogs, Gerstein. Loretto caught up in his skates. Osmus, other direction. Crosses over the Adrian blue. That's speared away by May. Back and forth. This is like watching 3-on-3, 5-on-5. And they say they're offsides. Wow.
Oh, I don't know if I agree with this one. To me, it looked like Gerstein halted crossing over the blue as May clearly was the guy to take the breakaway. That was almost penalty shot format. There was nobody on him whatsoever. 3 guys for the Bulldogs all alone at the blue line.
I know the coaches, Adam Krug and Jim Masso, are probably pulling their hair out, but can we play like that for the rest of the game? It'd be fun to commentate.
Breakaway after breakaway?
Odd man rush after odd man rush. Just crazy stuff both ways. What did you see there at the blue line? Do you think that was an offside play between, I think it was May and then Gerstein on the near side?
Yeah, I don't think it was because May had the puck and he was skating through center, and he definitely recognized that Gerstein was off to his right, and it seemed like Gerstein kind of gave him the lane and the time to go and skate it up. And I'm not really sure, but offsides nonetheless. They'll have to try and find another scoring chance at a different time in this one.
6-0, so not as if it'll have a massive impact on the game, but definitely a curious call there as Patosha spun down for Jacob, elevated with the backhand, sent towards Stewart by Kepke. Bulldog netminder turns it aside. Shields, Troon battling for it. Jacob will come through. Skating forwards, tried the toe drag. That's the dangers of doing that as a defenseman. As Newcomer the other way, he goes top cheddar. Falcons score their first of the game.
And that's just a bad break for Julian Jacob, who's been stellar so far up to this point, and a costly mistake on his own blue. You'll see it right here. Tries to go with the toe drag move instead of dishing it off to the side. Quickly taken away and sent upstairs by Grant Newcomer. That's a sweet snipe. Unfortunate break for the Bulldogs as the Falcons will look to try and claw back into this one. But Grant Newcomer, his 4th goal of the season for his 10th point.
Yeah, tough break for Jacob. I think the key for him is just heading back out there, having a next shift mentality, memory of a goldfish. Just forget about that one. Let's move on. 6-1 game for Adrian. Newcomer, you credit him as well because that was a nice shot in tight with Stewart.
Got to have a lot of strength to be able to lift the puck on that angle when you're that close to a goalie, and the awareness to look at the open space. He didn't really have too much to work with.
Found behind the goal now by Redding. Redding will look to the near side. Cam Babiak cutting in. Heinz behind the back. Couldn't keep it. Shot out by Kroyman. Logan Kroyman, and look out. Caught in the trolley tracks. Ben Loretto. Hazelton stepped up. Summers the other direction. He's got the most recent goal for the Bulldogs. Taken by Worsing. Clawed back by Summers. Klein. Kudo at the blue line. Austin Klein once more. Near corner. Summers, rink wide. Redding the intended target. It squeaks all the way through for MacArthur. MacArthur, some backhand sauce for Dittmer, who looks to be okay after he took a couple of awkward hits on a previous shift. Sent into the goal is MacArthur. Net is off. Yeah, they're going to take the face-off outside the zone. I don't think that's the right call, as I think MacArthur got bumped in there by an Adrian player, but nonetheless, draw comes just outside the Adrian blue line.
9:42 left to go in this second period. I think a little bit more life from the Falcon bench after that last goal from Grant Newcomer. Still down by a lot. Bulldogs will likely look to respond here. They just have to continue to apply the pressure.
Amsbaugh through the neutral zone. Gave it over towards the Falcons' Jaron Ketterman. Swade joining the fray. Amsbaugh, you've seen a lot of ice here today. He's been a big addition for the Bulldogs this season. The freshman from Bottineau, North Dakota. Got to talk to him this week about the hockey tradition in the state of North Dakota. I think it's a very underrated hockey state. And the headline there is the University of North Dakota. They've got some beautiful facilities, great hockey program. This is sent across for Klein can't handle it, and was talking with Amsball about getting to see a game at the Ralph, which is something he's done frequently, and that's definitely an arena on my bucket list. Pretty nice facility in NCAA D1.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's pretty much as close as it gets to a professional arena in college hockey. There are a couple of big ones in D1 play, and there's a couple in D3 too that are decently sized, but I don't think can hold the same amount of numbers. But, man, that would be pretty sweet. Take a trip out west, out to the cold tundra in North Dakota.
Out in Fargo, Ralph Engelstad Arena. Pretty fun place to go see a hockey game.
Good alumni coming out of that program, too.
Oh, yeah. Brock Besser tearing it up in the National this year. Trying to think of some other North Dakota alums.
TJ Oshie, Jonathan Tays.
Yeah, pretty
Both
good list,
teammates
eh?
at one point.
That would have been crazy to play on a North Dakota team with both Tays and Oshie on it.
Stanley Cup winners.
That they are. I remember they had the CBS line back in the day. It was Drake Kajula, Brock Besser, and there was one more guy. I think it might have been Nick Schmaltz.
Could be.
We're all NHL players now, I believe. Troon reaching after the puck, looking for it. It's bumped aside by Dittmer. Troon upset at losing the puck there. Bridges dodges the hit from Troon. Cleared out by Kroyman. Sardelli into the middle, played on by Ochitwa. Stewart around the boards. That's cut off. Stewart hustling to get back in position. Ochitwa sent back for Tallman. A shot that's over the bar. Dittmer back down. Patosha around the boards. Humphreys tried to go behind the back. Jacob cuts off the lane. Jacob coming together with the Falcon player, giving some heavy cross checks, and I think that will warrant a penalty for him. Playing with a lot of vigor there on the near boards and given a talking to by the official. High sticking is signaled. Julian Jacob goes to the box. Freshman from Bowmanville, Ontario, who played junior hockey with the Wellington Dukes. What did you see in the board battle down there in Adrian territory?
You know, to be honest, I had pretty obscure vision just with the fencing and rail in front of me, so unfortunately I can't really speak to too much on the penalty. I couldn't quite catch an eye.
It was the same for me. I was looking down. All I could see was Jacob going up, like bringing his stick up in the air and then coming down with cross checks. So it's pretty self-explanatory on that one. They go with a high sticking call. Loretto shoots it around. Kroyman will race after the puck. Kroyman turns ahead. Falcons trail by 5, their second power play chance of the game. This is knocked aside by May. Calgin will race after it. Fakes the slap shot. He'll turn back. Lobbed up with the backhand. Connor May looking for a Galazzo there with the skate. Newcomer sent behind for Kroyman.
Was that Ronaldo or was that Connor May?
I don't know. For a moment there, it was difficult to tell between them. Kroyman in the neutral zone. Turning forwards. Stewart behind the goal. The sad thing is if he were to nail the puck into the net with his skate, it wouldn't have counted. Unless it was a deflection somehow, which I don't think that's possible if your skate's in the air like that. Newcomer on the left side. Tees up Humphreys. Off the mark. Newcomer back down. Dishes one for Ochitwa. Held in at the blue line by Reutman. 53 seconds left in the Falcon power play as it squeaks out to neutral ice. Reutman will spin forwards. Penalty kills and power play units change. Sardelli on the far side. Spins from Kudo, or rather Loretto. This is Bergeron on the boards. Denier takes a spill. Up for Reutman. Dishes for Bridges. Walks in. Denier says, get out of here. Denier still battling with the Falcon. At the point, this is Reutman. Delayed penalty coming against the Bulldogs. I believe it'll be against Denier as Stewart, unable to snare the shot from Sardelli, sent high. McGarva to the bench. Empty net. Delayed penalty coming up against the Bulldogs. So this is a power play that will extend for the Falcons. Jacob is out of the penalty box. We skate 6-on-5 until the Bulldogs can touch it. Tallman looking to drop it back. Stewart touches up, and it should be Io Adeniyi going to the box here.
Yeah, there was a holding call assessed, and then it looked like Io caught him up in the feet and might have tripped him too. Unfortunately, unhappy with the decision that the official made. So the Falcons, we got another crack at the power play here with 5:15 left to go in the second.
Down 5, it's certainly promising when you get some of these power play chances to try and put some goals together and make it interesting. See if they can do that here. Newcomer, a shot, soaking it and clearing his Klein. All the way down, this is controlled by McGarva. Onto the near boards. Newcomer up for Ochitwa. Far side, a chance, in tight. Humphreys, that comes off a Bulldog skate and narrowly misses. A close scathe there with the Falcons in on the attack on the power play. That one was a narrow miss.
Certainly was. And there's a whistle here. I don't exactly know what happened. Either the puck popped up into the netting or somebody held it down. Not even really a signal on it.
The referees have discretion to blow the whistle if it's caught up in a board battle like that, but that was not very long. So a pretty quick whistle there. I don't mind it, though. People aren't paying good money to come watch players dig around at the puck on the board, so why not restart it with the face-off? And Klein sent around all the way out 40 seconds into the Falcon power play. What have you liked from Concordia's man advantage so far, and what would you like them to improve?
Well, they've come close to scoring a couple of times. They just got to bear down and get somebody in front. But other than that, Bulldogs doing a good job at trying to kill these penalties off.
Reutman playing catch with Sardelli, sends a low shot that Stewart may have got a piece of. That'll be a free breakout for Adrian. 4:05 to go in the middle frame. Found by Bergeron, played on through the stick of Kudo. This is shot down off the glove of Reutman. Lovasek comes together with Reutman. Bridges turns back. Bridges has it stabbed away by Swade. 30 seconds left to try and get up ice for Concordia. Played wide for Sardelli. This is sealed off. May back towards the Concordia blue line. Reutman towards the near boards. Petronic sidesteps Swade. Still Petronic. Slid now for Ochitwa. Newcomer swiped away by May. And that should just about do it to the penalty to Adeniyi. May takes a tumble. Up the other way, Ochitwa. Alex Ochitwa from the left wing. Shouldered aside by Stewart. Ochitwa finds it once more. And a high sticking call is whistled.
That was a great shot from a really low angle by Ochitwa, trying to find the upstairs corner. Stewart, great shoulder stop as well. Stays on angle. Man, he's been great. Absolutely great this season.
Pizzamenti lined up with Summers. Heinz into the middle. Redding had it smacked away out of his reach. Final 3 minutes of the second. Rim for Heinz. Heinz cuts back. Looking for options. This is held in. Shields bump for Summers. Back down for Jaden Shields. Brad Summers, plenty of real estate. Looked for Heinz, who's on hat trick watch. Shields sent a pass off of a stick, but still makes its way to Babyak, who sends it out towards the net front and skitters wide. Summers drop for Heinz. All the way back to the blue line. Shields slap pass for Babyak. Redding turns ahead, lets a shot go, and that one stays out. Mason Osmus fanned on the breakout pass. Summers. Heinz cuts back. Now it's Am's ball, and getting a piece of that one, I believe, was McGarva. Babyak. NCAA logo. Swade tees up Shields and stopped again by Liam McGarva with 1:58 to go before the second intermission. McGarva putting together a couple of nice stops there, showing his agility around the blue paint, Alex.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Seems very technical with his skating. He's been pretty on angle with everything. Not a lot of shots in the past couple of minutes. Bulldogs only have 22 at their total. I don't know if that's fully correct or not, but typically when it's on the scoreboard, it's as accurate as it gets. We'll see if maybe after the period it changes a little bit.
Bergeron skating after this one. Worsing swiped away by Swade. Loretto sending it high to low. Ames ball angled to the wall. Taken out now by Worsing. Worsing looking to prance by Kudo, who's hit. And with 1:29 left, another penalty coming against the Bulldogs.
It's an elbowing call. Amsbo irate. It was something that happened behind the play as we were all looking to our left. And late in this frame, Falcons back to the power play. Not something that you like if you're Coach Adam Krug. Playoff hockey, anything goes, but you can't give up as many penalties as they've had in the second part of this period.
Adam Krug and Matthew Thompson both upset with the way the line changes are being run by the referees. Giving their 2 cents to the official, Deneen. Face-off is won by the Falcons. Newcomer for Kroyman. Humphreys. Down for Ochitwa. Kroyman, a shot. That one bounces wide. Stewart stretches out to save what was the follow-up from Humphreys. And then missing the net is Ochitwa. Kroyman will grab it. 1:35 left on a Concordia power play. What's felt like a slew of power plays all in a row laid on in this second period for the Falcons. To the near boards, Newcomer. Newcomer sent on goal. Easy save for Stewart. He's snowed with 49 seconds left. If Concordia unable to cash in this final 49 seconds, we will have some carryover time on their power plays. A look at Theo Troon on our screen. Troon, a sophomore from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Been a good addition for this team, really finding his way in this lineup. And for Troon on the season, I believe currently his goal total sits at 3 goals and 4 assists for a total of 7 points in the 24 games he's played. So not gaudy numbers by any sense, but one of the straws that stirs the drink, I guess you could say, is Theo Troon for this Bulldog team offensively.
Absolutely.
Cleared out by the Bulldogs. Reutman will regroup with a minute left on the Concordia power play. Tallman. I think his cage might be unbuckled right now, the way it is shaking around as he heads up ice. Toe drag shot, that one wide to the left, and Stewart's able to cover. Pushing and shoving ensues. Mequan Tallman took some exception. Came together with Calgin. 14 seconds left in the frame. Kind of a tale of two halves in this second period, with Adrian coming out guns a-blazing to start the period, but then as things have gone on, they've struggled with discipline. May in the near corner. Newcomer saucered out. Petronic crosses into the Adrian zone as time expires. We'll have 31 more seconds of power play time for the Falcons to start the third period. 6-1 the difference and 3-1 the score in the second period. What were some of the storylines for you in that middle period, Alex?
Well, like you said just a few short moments ago, I like the way that the Bulldogs started that period. You know, they got the scoring going 16 seconds into the second period, and then just a couple of minutes after that at 1:41 and 6:06 to make it 6-0. But as time went on, you know, a couple of undisciplined penalties there that they really can't take. So I'd like to see them clean that up and stay out of the box potentially for this entire third period. Obviously, they still have 31 seconds to kill off on that last penalty. But other than that, they've been great. Their offensive chances have been there. They're going to the dirty areas on the ice. Passing is crisp. Defensive zone, fantastic. Stewart with a number of pretty solid stops as well. And it's been a decently well-rounded game, I think, so far for the Bulldogs.
Great analysis there, Alex. We'll be back for the third period after the intermission. You're watching Bulldog hockey here on ACTV. Third period still to come.
firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends, teammates, and peers who, although we have only known each other for 4 years, it seems impossible to think about being surrounded by anyone else in the coming weeks. We celebrated each other's accomplishments, became each other's biggest cheerleaders, and never let each other struggle alone. College has been called the most formative years of our lives, but I can say for certain that these last 4 years have included both the most amazing and most difficult moments of my life. One constant, however, is the support of my friends through it all. It is impossible to thank everyone who makes up our AC family. Together, you have each played an integral role in helping us achieve this momentous milestone.
And you be proud to be a graduate of Adrian College. It's a good day to be a Bulldog. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
Today's students on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
Welcome back inside Arrington Ice Arena, everyone. Score is 6-1 in favor of Adrian after 40 minutes of play. Calvin Keys alongside Alex Herman as we get set for the final 20 minutes. With a 5-goal margin in this game, how does that play into the tempo or the way that we'll see this remainder of the game be played out?
Well, the Falcons down by a lot. Certainly they're going to try and score as much as they can if they're able to. And the Bulldogs really just need to play possession. They have to play smart, keep their heads, stay disciplined. You know, the first things first, they have to kill off the last 31 seconds of this penalty, stay out of the box for the remainder of the game. So we'll see what happens. But at this point, you know you're holding this lead on pretty well. So just stay on top of pucks, make simple plays, don't overcomplicate things.
I think the biggest thing for Adrian is not putting things in cruise, but continuing to press down on the gas pedal here in the third. Because the Falcons have shown they can score. They've got a goal in this game. They've had some good chances. Swade trying to move one out front. Interesting, too. Do you think the goaltending change sparked this Falcons team a little bit?
Well, I'm sure you have to have some energy after you see your starting goalie come out of the game in the way that he did. Not really his fault at all, but just getting bombarded by the Bulldogs. The response, you have to come up big, really, just because you know that the coaching staff behind the bench is not going to like it if you don't respond.
Ketterman goes down hard after he was thrown down by Klein a minute into this third period. For reference, here's a chance for Swade, dropped off for Murphy. Backhander turned aside by McGarva, who, as I was saying, came in to replace Gabe Rosick just minutes into the second period and has looked good in net so far. Murphy, a drive, and that's wide. Jacob will race back for it. Myself and you both thought when McGarva was heading into the net, or at least for me initially, I thought he was wearing a toque on his head because of the way his helmet is painted. It's a pretty cool paint job. I'd love to see it up close, but looks like he's wearing a winter hat with the helmet on. Heinz looking over for Summers.
Yeah, you see that happen a lot with the outdoor games, especially the ones coming up. Sometimes the goalies will wear one of those hats on top of their head just for some style points. But I agree, pretty sweet paint job.
What do I need to do to earn some style points with my fit for next broadcast?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Everything that you've put together has been pretty good, to be honest with you.
Chance here. Quick snap of the leather from Stewart. Takes a tumble. Kind of looked like Bruiser playing goal in net there for a second as he fell on his back. Heinz cutting back. Slid across from his side. Pretty impressive that he was able to get that pass across. Redding all the way over. Adenier has it knocked away. Summers looking into the middle. This is taken back by Osmus, trying to clear. Pestered by Summers. Redding slipped back into the middle. Loretto skates onto it, dropped off for Heinz, trying to send it through the legs of Reutman. Loretto back around the wall. Redding centered to Denier, down to one knee, steps into a shot. That was blocked, but not cleared by Reutman. It's back over for Loretto. Great shift here for Adrian as Gerstein bangs away, and then he's banged down to the ice, knocking into Mason Osmus. 17:09 left to go in the third, and Bulldogs are buzzing in the offensive zone.
They sure are, and I'm not really sure how that puck got deflected. It moved around really awkwardly through the blue paint. Must have hit off of something because it went hard to the right and then kicked out straight to the top. But it stays out nonetheless as McGarva got on top of it.
Shots 24-15 in favor of Adrian. A long point shot from Shields over the goal. Gerstein for Lovasek. This is swiped away by Wersing. May holds it in. Dittmer off the boards. Babiak will glove it back down. Shields Going forwards for Lovasek. Taken by MacArthur. Gerstein angled away. Into the middle off the skate of May. Through neutral ice. This is Worsing. Bumps into Lovasek. Babiak. Behind the goal. Will settle things down. Taking his sweet time back there. Snaps a pass up for Shields. Saucered rink wide for May. Ushering it on. Bergeron behind the goal line. Newcomer. Lobbed up in the air. Klein will grab it. Austin Klein back across for Kudo. Saucered through the air. Kepke knocked over. Klein trying to play the puck through. Kaljan will glove it down. Shielding. Sent back for Kudo. Kudo waiting. Feeding one up that comes to Troon. Troon skipping through over the stick of Pizzamenti. Battling for the puck now. He goes down. Collision with Kepke. Kepke unhappy with Troon as the leg of Troon kind of swiped behind his. Patosha through the neutral zone. Too far in front of Troon. Back below the goal line, trying to skate it out is Petronic. Now up ahead, Pizzamenti. Dishes wide for Ketterman. A shot that's redirected. It goes out. Big check from Klein. He gets a cross check in retaliation. 15:21 left to go in the third. And a good chance they're in transition for Jaron Ketterman of Concordia.
Like the opportunity in front of the net. Just a little bit too much angle on the stick blade that forwarded all the way up into the netting, but they were in tight. And I like how much the Falcons are able to try and fight through the adversity that they're facing in this game. Though down by a lot, they're certainly not going away, and they'll continue on until the end of regulation.
Zach Heinz with 2 goals and 2 assists today. What have you liked from his game?
I mean, what can you say? The scoring touch is absolutely perfection, and he's able to distribute so well to his teammates. He's a leader on and off the ice. Just the ideal hockey player if you're a coach.
Bulldogs will clear it out here. Sent on by Kroiman through center. Taken again by Amsball. Amsball into the middle. Babiak will grab this puck and stands up. Ketterman, the reverse. My goodness. This is sent out front. A great chance there. Follow up from Kroiman. Initial shot came from Bolin. And Stewart's able to keep both out. Heinz on the break. Has Summers with them. Sent across. Summers. One-timer. He scores.
Man, does it get any better than that? Brad Summers is going to get his second year from a sweet assist from Zach Heinz. We'll see this puck get broken out of their own zone. Shot straight up the wall. And
I believe this may have been a previous chance for the Falcons.
We'll catch the replay potentially at the next whistle, but Zach Heinz read everything on that play. I think that could be the third 2-on-1 bang-bang situation play that we've seen in this game, and every single time it finds its way to the back of the net.
They go together like peanut butter and jelly. Zach Heinz and Brad Summers on a 2-on-1. Osmus played around the boards. Reutman back for Osmus. Saucered. It's corralled by Ochitwa. Falcons move it up the ice. Ochitwa grabbing it. Now the shot missed the goal. Redding will grab it. Reaches after the puck. Shifty move to the outside. Lost an edge as he's bumped by Kepke. Goes down hard into the wall. Kepke the other way in transition. Wide. Sardelli tipped on by Kepke. The follow-up. They score. Zach Bridges strikes to make it 7-2.
And I thought that Stewart was going to get there at the last second to grab that with the blocker. But this is a good play to enter the zone here. Quick cycle shot straight off the pad and the rebound. Juicy in front. Have to put those behind the goal line, and it is. So now we're at a 7-2 game with 13:22 left to go in the third.
Rebound was juicier than the fruit snacks they had in front of the trainer's room when I was walking into the rink. I was tempted to take one, but they're for the hockey team, not me. So I kept my paws off them.
That might be on the shopping list for this week. We'll get some for the ACTV house.
Stock the production house up. Got to be Black Forest, though. None of the Mott's garbage. All right. Not that it's garbage. I just think the Black Forest are better. Nathaniel Mott, on the other hand, is a really good defenseman for the ACHA D1 team.
Yes, and the ACHA D1 team facing off against Davenport today. Puck drop should be underway soon for them as they're in the GLCHL playoffs. Beat Toledo the other night, 9-2. Moved on to the next round.
Yeah, how about that win over Toledo? Sebastian Smith, his second Michigan goal of the season. Is that good?
Doesn't get any better than that.
They're playing in Grand Rapids today, right?
That they are. Actually, they might be in Farmingdale.
Farmington?
I'll have to check the rink. I think when I read it, it said Farmingdale something Ice Arena. We'll have to double check on that, but
might be Farmington Hills.
Could be.
Regardless, big game for them today. Good luck to them as they take on the Panthers of Davenport. Troon sliding forwards. He's dumped down on the ice. Took a hard fall. Things getting a little bit chippy. We've still got a lot of hockey left to be played. This one may boil over before the final whistle.
Yeah, certainly have to watch out for the next couple of plays because you know that the Bulldogs are going to respond with a couple of hits.
And that's what we see here between Jacob and Newcomer. I think Newcomer may have been the guy who took down Troon. .12 to go on the third, in the third, rather. And a reminder that we've got Adrian women's hockey as they will play at 7 p.m. tonight. That should be another good contest. Calgin ushering the puck out. Patosha skating onto it, has Troon on the back door. Instead, drops it off for Calgin. Oh, my goodness. That's a heavy collision. Calgin was tripped, slid right into McGarva, and took the net off.
Yeah, I don't think this was intentional, and judging by Calgin, quick to get up and saying, that wasn't really my fault. I'm sure at some point he'll apologize, potentially to McGarva. Didn't seem like it was his intent to take him out, but that was a heavy collision.
Definitely. That was a little bit scary, but it looks like both guys are okay, so that's all you can really ask for in that sort of circumstance. 25-19 are the shots in favor of Adrian. The shot totals are actually pretty even, considering it's a 7-2 scoreline. Swade wins the faceoff. Falcons send it off the window, cleared out by Dittmer. Tallman won the race, but icing still blown, and we'll have a faceoff back in Concordia territory. Interesting decision there.
Absolutely. I thought that Tallman caught up to that play, so not really sure why they didn't wave it off.
Not sure either. 11:46 to go in this game. Zach Heinz now with 2 goals and 3 assists in the contest. Brad Summers with a pair of goals and an assist to boot, and 2 apples for Matt Redding. Call that that should stand as a 10-point night so far for the Adrian top line.
Yeah, and don't forget, too, Julian Jacob. 3 assists here tonight as well.
Good point, yeah. Jacob playing a great game as well. Denier sent onwards for Swade. Murphy, what a deke, in tight, he scores.
Oh, man. And
here we go.
Yep.
Rock'em sock'em hockey on the near boards. Everyone going at it.
You had to expect this was coming.
My goodness, Bergeron in a wrestling match with Amsball.
Oh, man.
He's got him down on the ice.
Look out here, and Swade's getting tangled up to the right as well.
Everyone grabs a dance partner. Loretto's bucket has been ripped off. smiling at newcomer. 8-2 the score now as Amsball being separated from newcomer. Murphy still tangled up with Koepke. Koepke pushing the cage forward on Murphy's helmet. Going to the box now, it'll be Seth Bergeron, who was the guy who put Amsball in a pin.
Yeah, this could get ugly real fast.
Koepke and Bergeron in the box right now for the Falcons. No one in the box for the Bulldogs.
I'm sure they'll get one. It's going to be Jake Swade. It's going to be assessed. And even after the play, the jawing between both benches, you saw everybody, the backup goalies.
Blake Hazelton giving some words to the Adrian bench.
Yeah, this is going to get real interesting. You got 11 minutes and 25 seconds of this third period. Oh, man. I mean, the hope is that you can stay cordial and just play the rest of the game with no problems, but knowing the history between these two sides, you might see a couple of more hits, some more words that we likely cannot play on air. Luckily, we don't have any microphones along the glass like some of the professional teams do to pick that up. But
this is a perfect time to go take a bathroom break, grab a snack. We've got some downtime here.
Yeah, we do.
Wow.
You stand today, students, on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
About the
back inside Arrington Ice Arena. Fans up in arms. Jake Swade's been drawn out of the penalty box where he initially went, and this might be the end of his night. Wow.
Yeah, this is chaos on the ice. He's going to be escorted off. Well, I'm curious to see if the Falcons are going to get a player too.
Reutman is also going to the bench for Concordia. See what happens here.
Is he going to be replaced, or is
he's just grabbing a stick?
Yeah.
Looks like Heinz is going to replace Swade, and Jake Swade hit the showers. Loretto's upset about the call. Amsball is going to go to the box. I don't know why Ian Amsball is getting a penalty because he literally got thrown down on the ice and was wrestling pinned.
Yeah.
But I guess he's going to get called for a penalty. Bulldogs, their wrestling team won the MIAA championship on Wednesday night, and we got to see a little bit more wrestling here today.
Might need to recruit some of the hockey players here on campus. But before the animosity, do remember, too, the Bulldogs scored an 8th goal here, which we'll be able to catch a replay of before the next face-off. And it was a pretty crafty one as well. We'll take a second look at it here. Good cycle in the zone. Nice little nifty move. Look out. And that's going to start everything.
I wonder if there was some sort of a celebration after the goal from Murphy that drew the ire of the Falcons, or if just general frustration was in play, because you couldn't see on the replay what happened in the corner, but I think there was something that provoked that other than just the goal.
You know, it's possible at the last second I noticed Murphy kind of swiped a loose stick from the ice. It could have been one of those for Concordia, as there's going to be a penalty here. I don't know who it's going to be on, but it seems as if it is the Falcons. So maybe it was the stick play along the ice or some words exchanged along the boards, but something riled everybody up.
I thought we were going to see penalties both ways for sure. I'm still pretty surprised that Jacob Swade was the only guy who left the game. Down below, we're sitting right over top the penalty box, and barbs being shared both ways. The only penalty on the board coming out of that scrum, we should say, was against the Bulldogs, but 30 seconds into that, we've got a penalty against the Concordia Falcons. Falcon player crashing into the Bulldog goaltender, Stewart. I think he just lost an edge. Worsing delivers a hit to Shields, and now we've got another penalty coming against Concordia.
Yeah, this game is really starting to get ugly.
Delayed penalty against the Falcons. This is spun back by the Bulldogs. Patosha. Shields spins off a check. Adrian players have to be careful.
Yeah.
Concordia's running around a little bit right now, which I understand the frustration going down 6, but the loudest applause of this game will be given for a penalty call against Sawyer Worsing for roughing. And 4-on-3 power play coming up for Adrian for the next minute and 1 second, and then it'll become a 5-on-3.
Man, I'm speechless at this point.
You know, I thought it was going to be a slow third period, but we've gotten some entertainment value.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. I think what's going to be really fun to watch is when Bergeron and Amsball and company are out of the box here. We've got 4 Falcons and 3 Bulldogs all in the box right now, and they'll all be vacating, I imagine, around 2 minutes' time, and that could be fun. Shields sent towards the goal. Murphy will hand it out for Redding. Shields sent over for Redding once more, tipped on by Murphy. 36 seconds left in the penalty to Swade. Shields down for Summers, gets it back, touched for Redding, who wasn't there. Sent back for Shields, pass evades his stick, and Bulldogs will regroup here. They'll have about a 20-second 5-on-3 here in about 15 seconds as Shields sends it down, takes a cross check from Pizzamenti. Bulldogs still controlling. Shields for Murphy, toe drag, it's loose. Murphy again, sent over for Redding, and that's another one. Matt Redding gets on the board, points to the crowd. The score is 9-2 here. Ochitwa heads out of the box.
Great cycle from the Bulldogs in zone. They're just going to lay on the gas from this point out. It seemed like there was going to be some time for things to quiet down, but with all the added chaos, I think they're going to continue their quest to find the back of the net a couple more times in this one.
3 seconds left in the penalty to Swade here. And then a minute and 3 seconds left on the penalty to Concordia players. Granted, Swade's been ejected, so Heinz is going to come out of the box, and I think Bergeron might be the other guy coming out as well.
Is there another penalty here?
So Chitwood going right back to the box. Worsing. Is he done? Oh, Chitwood's going to the box. Worsing's heading over towards the bench.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Maybe they made the call on the wrong guy and are switching it out now. Because Worsing's just sitting down on the bench. He's not leaving the game. .9:27 left to go in the third. We've got a 30-second penalty that was just put up on the board. What is going on? I don't envy the referees. It's pretty tough to manage these sort of situations late in the game.
Yeah, this is a tough situation on both sides. Bulldogs up by a lot. Falcons really down and out of this one. There's not a whole lot that you can do. Officials have to keep an eye out for plays everywhere on the ice because you have to imagine that there's going to be hits everywhere.
Jacob will head down to grab this loose puck. We're about to finally return to 5-on-5 hockey in 5 seconds as Ochitwa will exit. Patosha sent to the back door. That's a great save made by McGarva. Jacob back down for Gerstein. Slid across. May can't find it. Patosha looking for it. Humphreys will send it all the way down. Icing is waved. 8:40 to go in the game. Jacob saucered onwards for Patosha. Gerstein controlling the puck, then sent it right to Humphreys, who sends it down. This should be icing against the Falcons. Everyone will head out of the box. Players go back to the bench peacefully. Not a lot of incentive, especially for Adrian, to continue with the rough stuff because you don't want to miss any time. Same for Concordia, though. If they want to have a chance to compete tomorrow, they need to make sure that they have their best lineup out on the ice, and discipline is paramount in that regard. Stewart out of the goal to play the puck here. Troon now. Dished back for Loretto. Loretto moves it out for Adenier. Troon onwards. Loretto will skate back to grab it once more. Loretto moving up the ice. Kaljan knocked for Lovasek. Lovasek into the near corner, sends one on, and McGarva gloves it with 7:41 to play. Shots 28-20 in favor of Adrian. Zach Heinz, 2 goals, 3 assists. Brad Summers, 2 goals, 2 assists. Julian Jacob, 3 assists. Matt Redding, a goal and 2 assists are the scoring leaders for the Bulldogs. On the other side for Concordia, they've gotten goals from Grant Newcomer and Zach Bridges. Sent on over the goal that time by Osmus. Heinz speeding the other way. Wow, what a crafty move there. Klein sent on for Redding. Redding dropped off for Klein. Heinz back down low. This is controlled by Matt Redding. Sardelli off the boards, kept in by Kudo. Summers digs it off the boards. Heinz is back for Brad Summers again. Found by Kudo. Knocked aside by Sardelli. Bridges in the neutral zone. Redding will steal it from him. Klein back across for Matt Kudo. Into the middle for Summers. Leads Redding. Returns for Summers. Rink-wide pass is off target. And speeding through neutral territory is Preston Hazelton. Hazelton misses the goal with the shot. Summers a creative pass to dig it off the boards and reset it into the middle for Kudo. Kudo being troubled by MacArthur here, but a strong play to get it out to neutral ice. Murphy steps up and delivers a dagger to Hazelton there. Amsbaugh shielding the puck. Comes together with Kepke. Amsbaugh looking for it. Skated out by MacArthur. Off the stick of Wersing. Falcons will have to tag up. Shields starting it out. 6 minutes to go. Get the feeling this game has settled down a little bit, Alex.
Yeah. Play the puck in your defensive end. Just dump it in, cycle it around a couple times, and maybe carry it out. No reason to overcomplicate things. At this point, for both sides, really, let's just get on to tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the crazy part is these two teams have to battle again tomorrow. The way things have gone in this third could get testy, as it always does in the second half of a back-to-back, but that's been amplified, I think, a little bit in this weekend matchup in the first round of the NCHA playoffs. Amsbaugh controlling. Sent back for Jacob, a long shot that's tipped wide by Gerstein. Check away from the play by MacArthur towards Babyak, and another goal. Call that a Pateau drag from Patosha. Finishes on the backhand. We're now in double-digit territory. It's 10-2 Adrian.
Sweet move from Patosha on that one. And the Bulldogs really just playing with the puck in the offensive zone, have so much space and time. You see this pass here, little pickup, and in the back of the net in a jiffy. 5:15 left to go in this third period, 10-2.
And a reminder, we've got another hockey game on ACTV right after this. The women's team for Adrian College is going to take on Lawrence in the first round of the Slats Cup playoffs in the women's NCHA. And puck drop for that one will be at 7 p.m. right back here on ACTV. Same time, same place, same commentators. And maybe we could get a little look at the NCHA playoffs, who's matching up this weekend, and what the results have been. Got a face-off on the far side of the Concordia zone. May will send it rink wide. Klein for Lovasek. Austin Klein sent in. That goes off the pad of McGarva. Behind the goal, this is found by Reutman. Now cleared out by Petronak. Now on along, letting a shot go. Pizzamenti, that's blocked aside by Jacob. Nice work defensively. Looking at the matchups in the first round of the Harris Cup playoffs, we've got obviously Adrian, the 1 seed, versus Concordia, the 8 seed today. Number 2, St. Norbert taking on number 7, Marion. Number 3, Tryon taking on number 6, Lawrence. And then the biggest matchup in the first round between number 4, Aurora, and number 5, MSOE. That'll be a close game.
Absolutely. You know what? This entire NCHA conference is super strong. You have a couple of really highly ranked teams within the top 25, and it's going to be a tight race to the finish to see who can come away with the Harris Cup this year. So I'm excited to see how everything shakes down. And interesting playoffs for the women's side, too, on the Slats Cup.
I believe Adrian, Trine, and St. Norbert are all ranked in the top 15, as you were saying, Alex. So they definitely all have a shot, and don't count out Aurora or MSOE either, because both those teams played Adrian in tight games earlier on this year.
Tough competition for the conference playoffs here on out for the Bulldogs. Doesn't matter who you play. It's going to be a gritty game. You're just going to need to find a way.
My guess is that Adrian will have to probably play the winner of that Aurora MSOE weekend series as well. That was a really good game earlier on this year against MSOE. They scored with a second left in OT to win it. The Bulldogs did, and then at the Huntington Center, Adrian was able to win 1-0 against Aurora, and before that, they split a weekend. So that would be another fun matchup. Calgin moving the puck up the ice. Given some trouble here on the wall. Trying to move it out is Kroyman. Kudo off the boards. MacArthur hit by Patosha. 3:15 to go in the third. Shields lifted up in the air. Patosha's goal being announced as the 12th of the season for the junior from Oakville, Ontario. Hazelton dropped off. MacArthur around the boards. Shields lifted up in the air. Summers will take the puck onwards with him. Redding sent across. Good defensive stick play by Petronik. Kudo on the left wing. Great chance for Redding. Directed it over the goal. Couldn't find the right geometry there near Liam McGarva. Taken back by Heinz. Redding skating backwards. Nice saucer pass. Zach Heinz still looking for a hat trick and what would make it a 6-point outing for the grad student. Taken forwards by Miquan Tallman. Met by Shields. Kudo lifting one up for Heinz as he's backed into by MacArthur. Kudo again clearing it out for Summers. Dropped for Heinz. Redding backhanded forwards. This is controlled by McGarva. Away from the stick of Bergeron. Newcomer slid down low. That's a heavy hit from Jacob in on Newcomer with 1 minute and 45 seconds left and another Adrian penalty coming up here. They surely have had to have touched this puck by now. And finally, the play will be blown dead with $1:40 left. Concordia will likely finish this game on the power play.
Yeah, that was a reverse hit that I don't think was expected on the other side from Jacob. As he's lobbying that he didn't do too much wrong. He just thought that he stepped up to make a hit.
I don't think he did anything wrong either.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think at this stage in the game, officials have to police just about everything, whether it's an obvious call or not. If it looks like it could be called and there's a question, you need to make it happen just so that nothing else sour comes out of this.
That's a fair opinion. Am's ball moved on for May. Couldn't handle it. Bulldogs likely shorthanded here to finish this game. Down low, this is Bridges. Passed over for Reutman. Up through the middle, this is taken through by Bergeron. Now Sardelli sent one off the shoulder of Stewart. Deshaun Stewart has saved 19 of 21 today. Am's ball skating in, looking for options. He's hooked by Tolman. They move it to the back door. May is denied by McGarva. Big save there. Am's ball kind of got attacked there after the fact from Tolman, but he's still going to get called. He was skating away and then just kind of got attacked there. Had to defend himself, but they'll take both guys. Roughing the call. .51 seconds to go. A game that probably just needs to conclude.
Absolutely. I think both sides are ready for this to be done. And why wouldn't you be?
It'll be interesting to see this again tomorrow. Will it be a similar complexity, or could we see a tighter game? What do you think?
I'm not sure, to be quite honest. I think still Adrian has the sleight of hand because they're able to find the back of the net a lot more frequently. I don't exactly know what the stoppage is for, but the head official's having a discussion in front of the table.
After the first 10 minutes of the first period, I thought we were going to have a real dandy on our hands. And then especially the start of the second period, I think, was really what distanced the Bulldogs from this Concordia team, because they really showed a lot of intensity. Even talking to the guys on this Adrian team this week, I think they've just had a lot of really good practices this week and are feeling really good about their game. You talk about graduating some big guys, you know, the likes of Matus Spodniak, Alessio Luciani, Sam Ruffin, Ty Entz, some guys who put a lot of points on the board for Adrian last year. The conversation we were having early on this season as the Bulldogs were kind of struggling to find goal scoring was who's going to step up and provide that. They've got a top line now that seems to be ticking on every level, Alex.
Absolutely, and it's unfortunate, too, that it'll be separated after the conclusion of the season this year. So they'll have to try and redraw some new strategy for the following year. But, man, they could be really dangerous as these playoffs progress.
Here's Calgin up into the offensive zone, backhand pass away from Troon. I think the thing with this Adrian team is they're super deep, so for guys like Redding, Summers, and Heinz, it was a matter of like transitioning from being a supporting player to being the top guy again like they were for their teams in junior hockey, and I think they've done that really well and have really led the charge for the Bulldogs this season. Anyone else that stood out to you today other than that top line for Adrian College?
Well, I think it was just a well-rounded 60 minutes of hockey. Deshaun Stewart, excellent as always, as time ticks down here with the horn to signal the end of this one. So round one going to the Bulldogs in this two-game series. But I don't know, overall, everybody playing their part, doing the things that they need to do, showing a good effort overall, in my opinion. Just a good team win, I think, after 60 minutes of regulation.
That it was. Bulldogs come out on top in this matchup. Your final score, Adrian 10, Concordia 2. Shots on goal finish 34-22. And total shots are 51-41 in favor of Adrian. They go 1 for 4 on the power play. Concordia 0 for 6 in that regard. And in this game, we saw a sum total of 38 penalty minutes. Bulldogs with 24, Concordia with 14.
Man, that's almost over half the game.
Yeah, definitely. We'll stick around here as we have our 3 stars of the game announced, presented by Bruggeman Law. Players saluting the crowd. A lot of the Concordia guys still on the ice right now. I think it's because they're going to do their post-game prayer that they have on a couple of occasions. Concordia players gathering at center ice. Cool moment here as going to seek to glorify God with their performance here today. Kind of summing up the verse, Romans 12:1. Offering your bodies as living sacrifices and acceptable worship to the Lord in terms of doing everything you do for His glory and not your own. And cool moment here. Definitely awesome to see hockey players recognizing there's bigger things than hockey and, yeah, worshiping their Creator here. And spirited effort by this Concordia team. I believe we'll be back at 1 p.m. tomorrow is the puck drop.
I think you're correct on that.
We've got our 3 stars of the game here now, presented by Bruggeman Law. One goal, 2 assists for Matt Redding. He's a senior from Brampton, Ontario. Great game today. Brad Summers being honored with the 2nd star of the game. Sophomore from Oakville, Ontario. 2 goals and 3 assists. Came close to the hat trick, but a 5-point game. Can't complain if you're Zach Heinz. Those 3 have been at the forefront of the scoring for Adrian all season. All 3 members of the top line, like we talked about for the Bulldogs, are honored as the 3 stars, and that'll pretty much sum things up. Any final thoughts here from the AIA?
Well, it was a good game overall. Got a little bit more chippy than I think we were expecting towards the tail end of the 3rd period, but hopefully things clean up a little bit towards tomorrow and we see a more polite hockey matchup again tomorrow afternoon at the AIA. But game number 1 of this NCHA opening round playoff matchup is going to go to the Bulldogs. A big win for them. Thought they did their job and found a way to get it done. More hockey still to come tonight on ACTV. Women's NCAA D3 team facing off against Lawrence in their opening round NCHA playoff. So definitely stick around to tune into that.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, everyone. First game of the first round of the NCHA Harris Cup playoffs is a 10-2 win for Adrian College over Concordia, Wisconsin. For our entire crew, Dakota Schneider, Keegan Wade, Alex Herman, Gabby Broom, I'm Calvin Keese, bidding you good afternoon.